Hey, it's me. This is also me. This is me in Paris looking at some of the most breathtaking, beautiful art that people have dared to dream with their blood, sweat, and tears. This is me in the 8th grade. I got a hot dog. What the hell even makes art good? Why am I so impressed by some of the works in the Louvre, but I get an aneurysm when I try to appreciate modern art? How is it possible that we have movies like Endgame generating $3 billion, but a movie like Blade Runner 2049 actually lost money in the box office? I mean, on paper, I think a lot of people can agree that Blade Runner 2049 is the better movie. It looks better, the writing is phenomenal, and it actually makes you think. But I still enjoyed Endgame more. Why is that? You know, at the end of the day, movies are just art, and just like art, we assign monetary values to them. The cost of production, how much money the movie actually makes in the box office, how much money Netflix will not pay to have it on their service. Okay, seriously, is it just me or does Netflix kind of suck now?
Schmunkus's revenge? What?
They stole my schmungus.
What?
The interesting thing about traditional art like paintings or sculptures is that they often cost little to nothing compared to their value, and that value is generated from how good the piece is or how sought after it is. But we judge the value of a movie based off of how much money it's already made. Or do we? If you're watching this video, you're probably a film nerd, or at least invested into movies more than the average person. So you might think that me saying the value of a movie is based off its earnings is absolutely ridiculous, but just think about that for a second. Think about your mom, your dad, your less film nerdy friends. They generally go to the movies based off of hype and popularity, and also like interest, but like mostly popularity. Like seriously, do you really think that Endgame would have generated $3 billion if all of its viewers were only the people who watched every single MCU movie and were heavily invested in the franchise? Hell no, man. And don't get me wrong, that still would have been a lot of people. But a large chunk of Endgame viewers were just people who saw the hype, saw the popularity, and got invested through that. There's a lot more examples I could give you for this, but I need you to understand that for the majority of people, they're only watching things because they're popular, and popularity is directly related to how much money a piece makes. So, am I trying to tell you we like movies because they make money? No, that's stupid. I'm trying to tell you the exact opposite, actually. Think about Blade Runner again. It's critically acclaimed, 8.0 on IMDb, 88% of the people who watch it like it, and it still lost money. And that's the funny thing about art. Money is generally irrelevant to the quality of a piece. But backup Tanner, what about Barbie and Interstellar and literally anything from Quentin Tarantino? Those movies make a lot of money and are generally seen as great movies. Okay, first of all, don't use my government name, it scares me. Second of all, shut up, I'm talking now. Third of all, you should leave a like on this video because you interrupted me. Fourth of all, what was fourth? Fourth of all, I said generally, dude. Okay, with traditional art, we see this contrast more often. I mean, seriously, the Mona Lisa sucks ass. Like, it's just a lady. It doesn't make you feel anything. And it costs $1 billion. And this painting probably costs little to nothing in supplies. And to make this even more confusing, let's look at Lady Bird. Lady Bird is a beautifully written coming-of-age story about a woman trying to gain her independence. It only cost $10 million to make, but it generated like $80 million in the box office. But now you can watch it for free? If you have a CBC Gem account, what the hell even is that? Like, the story is so good, it literally 8x'd its budget, but now you can watch it for free. That doesn't make any sense. I hope you understand my point now. Just because something makes money doesn't make it good, and just because something costs a lot also doesn't make it good. And yeah, you might go watch something because it's popular, but I doubt the box office revenue was in your mind when you were watching Margot Robbie deliver this masterclass of acting.
You're so beautiful. I know it.
Now, I spoke a lot more about this in my TV ratings make no sense video, but generally popularity and monetary value really muddy up how we perceive art. Like, again, do we really think the guy who purchased that Banksy really just enjoyed the craftsmanship, or did he buy it because it's a Banksy? Do we really think Netflix gave the Duffer Brothers $500 million because the Stranger Things 5 script was just that good? No, it's because Stranger Things makes them a lot of money. Also, the script wasn't written yet. You know, speaking of writing, isn't it weird that on paper, Stranger Things 5 is the exact same as all the rest of the seasons? The boys make jokes, there's some mystery, the gang comes together and defeats the monster, but it caused a shitstorm online where people were literally gaslighting themselves into thinking a secret final episode was gonna drop. And that, ladies and gentlemen, comes down to a single problem: the writing. You know, the words good writing and bad writing get tossed around a lot. But what does it actually mean? I mean, writing is really important to our enjoyment of a movie. It's kind of the foundation of what makes something good. So, is writing the key to why we might call certain movies good? I don't know, let's find out. Now, I've been speaking a bit abstractly, talking about art and TV shows, but at the end of the day, this video is about movies. So, let's take some movies and figure out for ourselves what actually makes them entertaining. Let's take that phenomenal New Year's scene from When Harry Met Sally, and, I don't really know what to compare it to. Oh.
Like my own personal brand of heroin.
I didn't like that. Versus,
I love that you get cold when it's 71 degrees out. I love that it takes you an hour and a half to order a sandwich. I love that you get a little crinkle above your nose when you're looking at me like I'm nuts. I love that after I spend a day with you, I can still smell your perfume on my clothes. And I love that you are the last person I want to talk to before I go to sleep at night.
okay, yeah, context is important, but let's just think about what's going on here. In Twilight, we have Batman comparing her to an addiction, almost objectifying her in a way. In Twilight, it's a strong description of his lust, not his love, but the overall scene is trying to convey his love, not his lust. In When Harry Met Sally, Harry's describing the things she does, what he loves about her, why he loves her as a person. And even with his odd delivery, seriously, why is he just talking at her?
As soon as possible.
We as a viewer feel more when we're watching Harry, not whatever the hell this is.
Maybe that's why they kicked me out.
We feel his want and love for her because he's speaking about her deeply. Comparing this to the surface level declarations of love we have in Twilight, and it kind of becomes clear. But this is just one example, and it doesn't really explain the question of what is good writing and what is bad writing. The thing is, all art is subjective, right? So it's really hard to pinpoint what good writing is, but sometimes it's really easy to see what bad writing is. I know this is about movies, I keep mentioning Stranger Things, I can't help myself. But dude, just watch this scene.
Yeah, well, you also told me to stop screwing your mom, and that didn't stop me, did I'll kick them so hard they'll pop like water balloons.
I say kick away. Stop this meathead from reproducing and further infecting the world with his unique brand of idiocy.
I don't even know how to describe those lines. It just sounds so stupid. Now, does this line sound dumb because it's like clearly written by ChatGPT? Yes! Yes! Yes, but it goes deeper than that. We know the context of this scene and this dynamic. These bullies can and have beat their asses. But for some reason, when Mike and Lucas show up, the bullies like walk off scared and annoyed. The writing of the scene is not only cringe, but it just doesn't make any sense from what we've seen before. Now, take this scene from Iron Man 2.
Put your hand down.
You think you got what it takes to wear that suit?
We don't have to do this, Tony.
You want to be the War Machine? Take your shot.
Put it down!
You gonna take a shot?
Put it down!
No!
Drop it, Tony!
Take it!
Now, at first glance, this seems stupid. You're literally Iron Man. Just tell Jarvis to bring the suit back, or like cut the power. But with the previous writing in the movie, we know at this point Tony is a drunk mess, he is about to die, and he secretly wants somebody to take the Iron Man mantle away from him. So this scene actually does make sense and is a very powerful scene. Writing isn't just about the individual lines.
I like dick.
Okay, the individual lines are actually important, but continuity and foreshadowing are very important to making a script work. Just because it's fictional doesn't mean that the fictional rules you've made for your fictional world don't apply to that fictional world. What? Just because it's a movie doesn't mean you can just break all the rules that you've already set up. In Endgame, they set up that time travel doesn't work like how it does in Back to the Future. So they spend a large part of the movie working around that fact, and they make sure that the characters follow those rules that they've established. Back when Stranger Things was still well written, we would never have a scene of the party standing up to bullies because they've never done that before and it doesn't make sense for their characters. So good writing not only has to convey its message deeper than surface level like in Harry Met Sally, and it also has to make sense to the rules we set up in the world like time travel does in Endgame. But like I said before, individual lines still do matter.
I'm the world's most dangerous predator.
Yeah, you are. But wait, this line conveys its message deeper than surface level. He's not just saying, I am dangerous. He's trying to convey the fact that he literally has superpowers. So why does this line not work, even though it makes sense to the world's rules and is like relatively deep? Simple. He's like 100 years old, and he's saying this to a teenager that he wants to fuck. The choice of saying predator makes us feel weird. Each line in a movie contributes to our perspective of it, no matter how little or meaningless it is in the moment. Some lines like that Twilight scene harm our enjoyment, and some lines make us want to jump up and cheer. The key is that lines have to hit emotionally, whether that emotion be happiness, sadness, fear, thrill, whatever it might be. We have to feel it. But, backup Tanner, what about movies like John Wick or Dune, where the writing doesn't matter so much and it's really more about visual storytelling? First of all, I'm getting to it. Second of all, shut up, I'm still talking. And third of all, I don't know if this joke is funny a second time. he killed that guy. Oh my god, look at these colors. What? Look at that shot! What the fuck is that green screen? Ew, dude. Ew. What is that? What am I looking at? Cinematography is also very important to our enjoyment of movies. You could have a world-class script, but if your movie looks like complete dog ass, it's hard to enjoy. Now, you can still enjoy if the writing is good enough, but if your movie looks really bad, it's hard to get immersed. And if you're not immersed, you don't enjoy it as much. Sometimes cinematography is the whole point of a movie, and most of your enjoyment comes from it. Take Star Wars, for example. A New Hope is considered one of the greatest movies of all time, but the script is not groundbreaking by any means. The movie's success is largely due to its concepts and production. Viewers had never seen anything like it before, and it became a cultural phenomenon because of that. If I say the word Hereditary, your mind probably jumps to the amazing writing and acting. But if I say Star Wars, your mind probably jumps to the Millennium Falcon, Darth Vader's helmet, maybe even a stormtrooper. The script was not bad at all, but the visuals really led the charge. A modern example of this is John Wick. North American viewers had never seen that level of dedication to action and fighting. Yeah, like obviously Chinese audiences have been seeing this for years with people like Donnie Yen or Jackie Chan, but even still, Chinese cinema is dedicated mainly to hand-to-hand combat, whereas John Wick delivered both on gun combat and hand-to-hand combat. And knife combat, and vehicle combat. I think at one point he uses a pencil. The second movie delivered, the third movie delivered, and the fourth movie said, fuck a script, we have fire guns now. The camera, composition, effects, cuts, color grading, all very, very important to making a movie look good. And this is actually something that the modern MCU really neglects. Back in 2008, we all watched Iron Man 1 and we were like, holy shit. Iron Man 1 still holds up in realism. It low-key looks better than the modern versions. And they really didn't have to care about making cool cuts, compositions, or transitions because the CGI looks so good. We were just surprised to see it. But now viewers know what is possible, so we just assume the CGI will be good and we're looking for more than that. This is exactly why I hate the new Fantastic Four. The art and concepts are so good. Like, it's the most visually distinct movie in the entire MCU. But the cutting and compositions are like the exact same as any other movie, so the visuals still fall flat even with the really fancy artwork. You know, sometimes good visuals are easy to spot. Sometimes they're just simply beautiful, and sometimes they play into the narrative and kind of tell a story on their own. I think the Matt Reeves Batman movie is a great example of both visual beauty and visual storytelling wrapped into one. The shots and colors are just so good, like it is so visually stimulating. But at the same time, the dark atmosphere, the rain, the heavy use of close-ups tell us the story of Gotham. We don't ever need to be told Gotham is a shithole, we can just see it. And they never have to just put Gotham in B-roll to tell us how shitty it is. We can see how bad Gotham is just through the natural progression of the movie. But movies like John Wick or The Batman put the good cinematography in your face. You notice it really well. But oftentimes, good cinematography goes unnoticed. Sometimes the visuals are just complementing your experience and getting you immersed into the movie, and they don't actually have to be that distinct. Let me give you an example. Take Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, for example. Alfonso Cuarón makes very heavy use of long shots throughout the movie, and he makes the distinct choice to put the kids into normal clothes for a lot of the movie, whereas the rest of them don't really do that. They're always in their robes. And these two elements might feel small, but it makes a massive difference when you're watching the movie. Watch this shot of Arthur telling Harry about Commissioner Gordon. It feels so authentic and real, genuinely like your dad or your uncle trying to warn you about something. He took a simple conversation that could have been easily done with A to B shots, decided to take a long shot for it, and now it feels as the viewer like we're actually in the Three Broomsticks watching this conversation go down. Good cinematography isn't just about giving you something pretty to look at. It sets the tone, it tells you about the movie's world, and it is the main driving factor in keeping you immersed while watching something. Pack up Tanner. No, we're not doing that goddamn joke again. Just move to the next chapter. Why are you still here? So I quickly want to recap the points we spoke about so we can better answer the question of what makes a movie good. First of all, money has nothing to do with the quality of a piece. Whether it cost a lot of money, made a lot of money, whatever it is, it's irrelevant to its quality. Second up, good writing should evoke emotion, it should propel the plot naturally, and it should always follow the rules that the movie has already established. And third, good cinematography should complement our experience, whether that be telling us about the world, subtle immersion, or even sometimes, just giving us something pretty to look at. And every single one of those layers are equally important to our enjoyment. A movie that skips out on any one of these points will never be a top 10 movie. Hell, not even a top 100 movie, because movies like Interstellar, Goodfellas, Shawshank Redemption exist and they nail all of these. Pack up Tanner. You said you liked Endgame, but it doesn't really have anything of what you just listed. What? Wow. What are you even talking about? Endgame's writing was great.
Noob Master, hey, it's Thor again. You know, the God of Thunder? Listen, buddy, if you don't log off this game immediately, I'm gonna fly over to your house, come down to that basement you're hiding in, rip off your arms, and shove them up your butt!
Okay, some of the writing is corny, but the visuals, they're amazing.
Look at the top of his head!
Okay, fine, the visuals are a bit bland, but it made a lot of money. Didn't you say money doesn't matter? Dude, look! Feeling. You might notice I mentioned feeling a few times in this video, and that is really the key to why we enjoy things. I could yap all day and night about the technicalities of making a movie, or why every single line spoken in Twilight is absolutely ridiculous, but at the end of the day, all those technicalities, all those writing rooms, everything are all in pursuit of one thing: making you, the viewer, feel something. What we call good writing and good cinematography is just writing and cinematography that made us feel something, feel some sort of emotion. Like, Endgame was a cool movie, it had a cool plot, but it played it safe. It was produced and looks exactly like the rest of the movies do. The difference between Endgame and any other MCU project is that it makes you feel something. When Tony dies, you feel sadness for the characters. You feel the ending of a decade of cinema. You feel your childhood memories of watching Iron Man 1 for the first time. And you feel excitement for what's gonna happen next. I've dogged on Twilight for like half this video because it's not great, but god damn it, I loved it. It was absolutely hilarious and I couldn't take my eyes off of it. And there's a real reason why these artsy, critically acclaimed movies are not usually enjoyed by the masses. Just like Twilight, Endgame, whatever, those artsy movies are not made for everyone. Movies like Lady Bird, Midsummer, or The Brutalist are enjoyed by people like us because we can recognize a very intricate script or very interesting visuals better than the next guy, and that's what makes us feel emotion. Like, so many people I talk to tell me that the Matt Reeves Batman is dumb, it's boring, it looks dumb, but to me, it's an amazing film. It might be my favorite of all time, because when I watched it, I felt something. I felt real anxiety seeing Batman being brutal for the first time. I felt genuine fear seeing the Batmobile for the first time. And on my way home, I felt like a badass after watching this movie. It doesn't matter if you pour millions, if it made millions, if the writing is world class, if the visuals are beautiful, nothing matters. If you don't feel it, you won't enjoy it. Thank you all for watching. If you made it this far, you probably noticed I didn't talk about sound design at all, when it's actually really important, equally important to the visuals and the writing. But that's because I think it's super underrated and people don't talk about it a lot, so I wanted to dedicate an entire video to it. Also, this current script is like way too long already. So in a couple weeks, you'll see a video from me just dedicated to sound design and music, composition, all that. Please leave a like and subscribe if you like my opinions and think they're amazing and that everybody in the world should follow them. If you're actually here this far, comment the word mitosis just to confuse everybody else. Bye.